I have a joke where I talk about like how I hate that the stereotype that Asians can't drive, because now I feel like I'm an ambassador for my entire race. Like I have to drive really well. And then
But that's a very common complaint of a lot of people of color.
right.
That they have to go against stereotype extra hard. Just
Exactly.
not to like, yeah.
And then after the show, this old white guy came up to me and he was like, I like that joke where you say Asians can't drive. I was like, that was not the point of the joke. And he was, and then he's like, yeah, because back in my day, I was like, oh dear.
Nothing good.
Back before the Voting Rights Act, he's like, we had this saying, like, if you were like one of the 3 O's, you shouldn't drive. And I was like,
Oh God.
it's the first O, Oriental. And he's like, yeah, how'd you know? I'm like, lucky guess. And then I was like, what are the other 2 O's? And it was like ovaries and old.
Oh.
Like, oh, you're the worst. You're the worst
Wow.
human. Like, so my mom shouldn't drive is what you're saying. I was like,
Right.
thank you supporting live comedy.
Wow, what a giant douche
It was
nozzle.
crazy.
Well, but do you have any jokes like that you guys don't do anymore? Like, because you think it's too Asian or ethnic?
Like, we specifically tried not to write our jokes to reinforce any stereotype. Most, like you were saying, a lot of ethnic comics probably try to feel like it's their duty to like go against it and educate people. Like, a lot of my jokes talk about like what people think and why they shouldn't think that way. I feel like if I'm gonna be spreading a message, it should be helping my race.
Yeah, no. That's that you have that in common with a lot of Nazis. But
Joe Vu has a lot of common with Nazis.
no, but
I'll put that in my bio.
so no. Well, see that. I kind of like to take that a step further, where it really makes me angry, and I've talked about this on like the last 2 episodes of this podcast. So it makes me angry when ethnic comics do jokes from 20 years ago, or like a small variation on that same joke, reinforcing the same stereotypes. You know, I don't like brown comics doing Apu jokes at all, and it's not even a critical analysis of this thing. It's just like the same as, oh yeah, thank you, come again. I'm like, oh, that's cute, great,
lazy.
thanks a lot, Russell Peters, circa 1999. Even Russell Peters doesn't do that anymore. So, like, for example, when I saw a year ago, Ali Wong, right? She broke out with her first special, right? A lot of her material was obviously about like her, being a mixed Asian person, and then her husband is also mixed, right? The language she used was not the same as I don't even know what other famous Asian comic there was before her, to be Margaret Cho, right? Not really familiar with her work. She's very mainstream. She's a little dirty too, right? But the way Ali Wong did it, it was very informative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's talking about like Asian cultures from an insider perspective in an educational way, as opposed to being an insider and having all these internalized racist notions about herself. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I respected.
Asian, fancy Asian.
Yeah, exactly. The whole jungle, exactly.
Yeah.
So like Vietnam and China, right? So the whole jungle Asian, that was a new term that I learned, I guess, and it was also intuitive for non-Asian people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, oh yeah, I do think of, like when I think of Asia, I think of China, Korea, Japan. I don't necessarily think of Cambodia, Vietnam, Taiwan. And obviously like that now has people thinking of, there's like the subsections of all these societies now to the forefront. That I enjoy.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her second one, which
I
is
haven't
great.
too. I'm saving
It's
it.
really good.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'll watch it and see. But like, my point is that there are comics who kind of evolve their art form, and also with the burden of their own race, evolve that aspect of their art form too, right?
Educating is hard in comedy, like making it funny, like teaching someone, but having them learn something and also laugh.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's there's a lot of comics who'll be like, oh, I just want to make people laugh. I'm like, yeah, but are they laughing with you or at you? Doesn't that bother you?
That's a big thing.
Like, I mean, like, going back to the thing that Joe was saying before, like how we don't want to do jokes that are perpetuate stereotypes. Like we had this conversation where I used to have a joke where like I kind of made the joke that like Asians have small penises, right?
Yeah.
Like we kind of played on that, but it wasn't subversive. It's just
You're just like repeating something.
Yeah, and I was just like, that joke was, it works great because people are racist, and it's like they just like us giving them permission to laugh at us because people just want to laugh. Yeah. I was like, why am I giving you permission to laugh at my race? So I stopped doing that joke, and then you stopped doing any jokes like that as well.
Yeah.
We both have jokes like basically talking about the science behind it and how actually that's not true
Yeah.
at all. But we still see like some young Asian comics who go out and do that. And
I've
it
seen that
drives-
recently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like
Like,
last
not-
week.
Like, yeah, exactly. Not just Asian comics, but other comics of color. I've seen that in the last few weeks. I've seen like, really, you're Hispanic and you're gonna make that
Yeah,
joke
yeah.
about like lazy Mexicans. You're gonna say that, or you're brown. Are you gonna make a joke about cab driving? Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
at least say Uber. Kind of like update it a little bit.
Like I get it, like because it's a cheap laugh.
It is a cheap
right,
laugh.
and it's a reliable laugh, like
Mhm.
especially with certain audiences. And I guess like when you're early in the game, getting like reliable laughs is
See, if you're
That's-
early in the game, I can totally understand
Yeah.
that. I totally understand. I've done similar things. You're a couple years in. You're trying to get laughs, trying to get your feet up, and you're mistaking people laughing with you versus at
Yeah.
you. Totally understand. I'm talking
Yeah.
about like comedians who've done this long
Oh,
enough to
yeah.
know better. And I'm like, wow, that is just your sense of humor.
You're just like
Yeah.
Uncle, you're like an Uncle Tom.
For-
You're
yeah,
like
exact-
Uncle Tom Yum Gung, I guess.
yeah, exactly.